Gen X, what do you want to be when you grow up? Stick around, let's talk about it.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Rad, back with another video. And today I thought we would talk about what we wanted to be when we grow up, right? I was telling my son, Roth, the other day that, jokingly, I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, right? And it's kind of interesting topic, right? So the whole point is, how many of you guys that are watching the video are doing what it is for a living that you wanted to do when you were a kid? I would reckon probably not a lot of us, right? We all have hopes and dreams and aspirations and whatnot, and I think a lot of times we don't end up doing exactly what we had goals for. Me, if you follow the channel for a long time, then you know that I sell toilet paper for a living. I like to joke about that. It's one of the things I sell, but basically facility supplies, janitorial supplies, and packaging supplies and whatnot. So it's something that, when I was in grade school, I just was like, one day I want to sell the most important product in the world, and that's toilet paper. Kind of is, So, but that's not what I wanted to do. Interestingly enough, I wanted to be a forest ranger. Not a park ranger, but a forest ranger. I don't know what it was about the outdoors that still, the woods, big trees. Not like, living in Texas, we have kind of every geographical location. So kind of where I live is not very woodsy. Now, East Texas, there are some beautiful areas of Texas out east that are just gorgeous, big pine trees. And then, of course, you have Big Bend, but that's more of like a Grand Canyon kind of looking place. But I grew up loving the outdoors and still do love the outdoors. We still do quite a bit of camping, but I can't remember. I've been looking, and so maybe you guys can help me out. There was a series of books that I read as a kid. They were like the Hardy Boys, right? So each book, it was written by the same author, and but it was like a little mystery, something, some sabotage going on in the forest, and the main character was this forest ranger that would help solve the crime, But they were like Hardy Boys, and I have looked for years to try to find any semblance of what that was. I cannot remember the names of the books. I Google it. I use Almighty Google, and I cannot pull up anything that shows what that is. Very frustrating. So if you guys know, drop a comment below and let me know on that. Also, drop a comment below and let me know what you think of the video. I'm using the new what is it, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera right now. I want to start being able to do a little bit more walking, vlogging kind of stuff. And the Sony that I have, I love it. Let's see here, where's it at? Most of my videos are done on this thing right here. So super nice camera, the Sony. And it's just not really good for walking and talking, which is something that I want to start doing. Also, still haven't fine-tuned it and figured it out. Brandon over at genx POV, he uses the same exact camera, and he's the one who recommended the wide-angle lens and the filter that goes on there. If you don't follow his channel, you should go check him out. Very similar channels with being Gen X, but me being more nostalgia, him being more Gen X topics. Great channel, good friend. I'm actually going to be up in Dallas next week, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to be doing some collabs, as the kiddos say. But he's able to dial his in. I mean, his color and everything looks perfect, and yet same exact camera setup, and I just can't get mine to look the same in this area. So this camera comes with the microphone, and it sounds and looks pretty good. So I'm going to be doing a lot more with this camera. I'm looking forward to it. So let me know your thoughts below of how it looks and what you think of it. But back to the regular scheduled program, and that is, I wanted to be a forest ranger. And I'm talking for years. This wasn't one of those things where second grade I decided I wanted to be a forest ranger, and then I was third grade, I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a forest ranger for years, and the way it worked out, I mean, I could still totally see myself living in a national forest somewhere in the cabin that's assigned to that particular person, waking up every day and going out into nature and dealing with, forest management and what goes along with that. However, life happens, right? I had a kid at a very young age, and it's not an excuse, but my life went down a totally different path. Then later on, when I looked into it, I had no idea the amount of years you have to go to school to become a forest ranger. I mean, these guys they're, we have park rangers in Texas. I'm sure you have them in your states. And, I think pretty much anybody can get that job. And it's not the same kind of thing. But you need a bachelor's in forest management and whatnot. So it was just not something by the time I got in my mid 20s or 30s. By that time, with two kids, I just was not wanting to have to go to school that long. But what about you guys? What jobs do you have? What did you want to be as a kid? And did you end up becoming that? If not, what is it that you do, if you don't mind telling me? Now, for the record, I actually love what I do. I've been doing it since 1999. There was a couple years that I took out, and I just decided to leave the industry for a while and went and built homes for D.R. Horton for a couple years, and then was kind of after I decided I don't want to do this anymore. I put the feelers out and got hired back into the same industry. So even though I say 25 years, it's technically really 23 years I've been doing this. And I think that I didn't really appreciate it as much as I should until, quite honestly, just recently. Um, I don't know why I would tell myself this isn't what I wanted to do. This is never what I wanted to do. But yet I have raised three kids from this career, from this profession. Um, got the third one, Roth. Y'all all know him. Still technically raising him, right? He's got a couple more years before he turns 18. But three kids that I've raised with this. It's taken care of me for. I mean, what was Thederick? He is 31 now. He was about 6 years old. So yeah, so he was about six when I started this industry. Right around that time, I got custody of him full time, so he was living with me, and I've been able to take care of him until he graduated. Been able to take care of my daughter Legacy until she graduated, and the same with Roth. So this job has treated me very, very well, and I don't know why I went so long without embracing it. I don't know why I just thought that I could be better, but I do very well. And I've done well for a while, and I've built up my book of business. And I just don't know why I didn't own the fact that, yeah, I'm a toilet paper salesman, and I don't care, because I do very well. And, and I'm treated well. And because of that, now that doesn't mean it's all been sunshine and rainbows. I've had my share of really bad sales and branch managers that have made my life miserable for months on end until eventually they get fired because the sales reps are the ones that normally bring in the money for the business, and so we get treated. We're supposed to be treated a little bit better, but if you get a bad branch manager, it takes a little bit of time, especially in 2025, to get rid of them with human resources, right? So, but yeah, it's just something that I didn't embrace until just a few years ago, and I guess I just you know accepted the fact that this was my life, and it's a pretty good one. And but what say you? What about y'all? What if you're not doing what it was that you wanted to do? What are you doing now, and do you like it? Are you happy with it? Is there a level that you can grow on top of that? Because we see a lot of these videos, these Gen Z and millennial videos of work-life balance, and F the managers and the boss. We're not going to take this kind of crap. And I get it, especially if you're not getting paid a livable wage nowadays. Like, I mean, we could buy a house working at Taco Bell in the 80s and the early 90s, but you can't do that anymore with 12 bucks an hour. But back then you could. So I get that you have a lot of people that don't want to work as hard for the amount of money when they can barely pay their rent. However, you should still have a good work ethic. Yes, don't let somebody roll you over and run over you, but at the same time, be respectful. But So what about us as Gen Xers, right? Are we starting to feel the same way about our management, our bosses, our companies? Are you, again, we kind I think we kind of have thicker skin to handle the asshole people that you work with sometimes, to not let it just bring you down so bad and ruin your day or ruin your month, like the kids nowadays. But doesn't mean that it doesn't stress you out. I get it. But I just think that we have that work ethic ingrained in us to persevere a little bit. So, kind of a different video today. It's a little nostalgic in the sense that it got me thinking about those damn books again, and I wish I really could figure out who they were written by and what they were about, because I would love to buy the set and read them all over again. Probably a third grade reading level, but man, they were really intense as a kid. They were really well written, and I really enjoyed them. So once again, drop a comment below if you liked the video. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. Also, don't forget, I have the memberships available. You can click down into the description and see that in the description box to pick what level you want. Only got a couple. Shout out to Chad and to Brandon, are my two members. See, I'm not members only. I'm not the only member in members only, right? So,
Is that a members only check-in?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So what are you, like the last member?
again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.